Joe Hopkins here, and today I was watching some videos, right? I was checking out some stuff, and it turns out a couple months ago, Demi Lovato put an album out, right? And big deal, this is a guitar channel. Why are we talking about Demi Lovato? Well, because she used guitars on it, right? Well, you guys, if you know anything about Demi Lovato, she was doing pop music, that kind of stuff. And I guess she decided she wanted to put out, sounds like pop punk, really. Kind of like a punk album. A little on the heavy side, kind of like Sum 41 kind of feel, right? If you ask me. Maybe you guys feel different about it. And, like a lot of times when somebody changes their sound, they tend to get a lot of hate. People start getting on their case, pop artist looking to do something different. But, she's an artist. We can do something different, right? And so I listened to it, and it was pretty good. So I got curious. Okay, who wrote the songs, right? And of course, on a number of them, there are multiple songwriters, usually the producer and a couple other, people from the label. They just plaster their names on shit because they add this line or they do a little bit of that, which is, in my opinion, kind of cheesy. That's a bit disingenuous anyway, right? The producer is always a co-songwriter these days for some reason, even if he didn't co-write anything. But I digress. The point is, she's the lead songwriter on pretty much all the songs. So I thought, okay, she wrote the songs. The songs are pretty good. It sounds like a pretty good album, right? From what I've heard, I like it. It's like people kind of wigged out a bit when Machine Gun Kelly went punk, right? Because, he does rap and then he goes punk. But the album was good. It's not really my taste. I didn't, just because it's punk doesn't mean I like it. I didn't like his that much. I can listen to it and say, hey, it's good. This will appeal to some people. But, not for me. Demi Lovato's, though, I like the sound. I do like it. I like the songs. I could say there's one thing, and I'd like to see if you guys agree with me on this. Let me know what you think in the comments below here, but there's something I wish she had done, right? She did the pop approach, the pop music approach, which is record write the songs, record the album, then put a touring band together and tour as Demi Lovato. And it kind of makes sense, name recognition, all that kind of stuff. And she's a solo artist and all that. And she got a good band. I watched the clip from Jimmy Kimmel Live. She got Nita Strauss in her band, which I love Nita Strauss. That's awesome. That's really good stuff. What I kind of wish she had done, which is what people used to do in the past, was to get the band together first and then record the album so that you can collaborate with these people. Because the truth is, her album doesn't sound that different. This album doesn't sound that different than what she was doing before. It just has guitars. A lot of the sound is very similar, pretty much like what she's been doing. It doesn't really sound that different. It's just punked up. Which what she was doing before was kind of a little edgy. So, I mean, it works. You add guitars, now it's got that heavier sound. But the whole reason to collaborate with a band is then you end up sounding a bit different. And I think that would be cool. I think the cats that she hired to play as her backing band, if she'd have brought them in as a band, given it a name, and instead of going out as, instead of putting it out as Demi Lovato, she put it out as whatever the band name was, I think that'd have been pretty cool. Because then instead of Demi Lovato, the pop artist, goes punk, it would be Demi Lovato singing for the, fronting a punk band. Make it an actual band effort. I think that would give it a lot more legitimacy and definitely sound pretty cool. I mean, we all remember when Chris Cornell put together Audio Slave. When I first heard that Chris Cornell was going to be fronting Rage Against the Machine, I thought, man, I don't know if that's going to be any good, Chris Cornell and Rage Against the Machine, is that going to be any good? Well, they didn't sound like Soundgarden, and they didn't sound like Rage Against the Machine. They sounded like something totally new. And I think if Demi Lovato had done that, get a band together, and then do the album, it wouldn't have sounded like Demi Lovato with heavy guitars. It would have sounded like something new. And I think that could have been really cool. Yeah, it's taking a risk a little bit, but I mean, come on, you still have the name recognition because you're still Demi Lovato. And taking a risk could mean something way better than what she ended up doing. Or it could have been worse. It's hard to say. But I would have liked to have seen it. Same thing with like Machine Gun Kelly. Instead of doing an album as Machine Gun Kelly, I kind of wish he'd actually put a band together, collaborated, written songs with other people in the band. Not other people, i.e. songwriters, other people, i.e. in his band. Put a band together, name it something, and be a band now. I think could have produced a much more interesting product. And yeah, like in the case of Demi Lovato, obviously she's probably going to be the lead songwriter and main lyricist, but it would have been interesting to hear an album that Nita Strauss actually collaborated on, helped to put together the guitar parts, to arrange the thing, and the other members in the band too. Because as it is, they're just playing parts that were already put together by studio musicians and a producer. And, when you're a band, you got a little more skin in the game. It matters a little bit, especially if you're a co-songwriter. If you guys are writing songs together, you got a little more skin in this game now. It matters more than it does to a ringer. I'd be willing to bet when Nita Strauss does session work and goes into a studio to record somebody else's stuff, it doesn't matter as much as when she goes in to record stuff she helped write. And it's not anything against the musicians. It's just, as a musician, I can tell you my music matters to me emotionally more than somebody else's does that I'm just playing on. And even if you want to do your best for somebody else, you don't have the same connection. It just can't happen like that. So I'd have liked to have seen that. But overall, I like the album. I think it's a good effort. I don't think it's like a record for the ages, but I do think it's pretty good. It's pretty neat to see. So just wanted to share that with you guys. Hey man, if she's out on tour, for all you guitar fans out there, when she goes on tour, it might be worth going to see that show just to see Nita Strauss. And the rest of the band, they sound great. So anyway, I love you guys. Subscribe to my channel. Check out some of my other videos. And I'll see you in the next one, all right? Peace out, baby. Bye-bye.